усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці. Запануєм і ми, браття, у своїй сторонці. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saratoga Racecourse as we begin Travers Week here at the Spa. Sunny skies right now, but we did have a lot of rain overnight and this morning. As a result, today's first race, the steeplechase race, has been canceled, and we are off the turf today. The main track is fast, but we are off the turf today, and race 1 has been canceled. We'll start the changes in what is race 2 in the program, and in fact there are no changes in the second race. The third race is off the turf, goes on the main track at the same 5.5 furlong distance, and we have these scratches. Scratch 1, Southern Civility. 2, My Slick Nick. 3, Druid. Scratch 5, Sharp Sensation. 6, Fair to Midland. Scratch 7, Disengage. 8, Brennan's War. And 9, Gimme Back My Bullets. Scratch 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Number 10, Magic Truck, will be ridden by Eric Consell. Eric Consell is on the 10, Magic Truck. And number 11, Kingstown, will be ridden by Flavian Pratt. Flavian Pratt is on the 11, Kingstown. In today's fourth race, a rider change on the 2, Brondo, to Johnny Velasquez. Johnny Velasquez rides the 2, Brondo, in race number 4. In today's fifth race, note that number 1, Corkman, runs with 1 aluminum pad off. An aluminum pad off the 1, Corkman. Scratch the 6, Kinetic Sky. Scratch number 6, out of race 5. The sixth race is off the turf, goes on the main track, same distance, 5.5 furlongs. And these scratches. Scratch 2, Glorious Moment. 4, Vocalize. Scratch 5, King Angelo. 6, Thin White Duke. Scratch the 7, Gianni Lambo. 8, Call Me Harry. 10, Carpe's Dream. And 12, Winter's Sun. Once again, recapping the scratches in the sixth. Scratch numbers 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and 12. The 11 overbore will run with blinkers on number 11. And the 13 risk profile will be ridden by Jose Lezcano. Jose Lezcano on the 13 risk profile. Seventh race off the turf goes on the main track at the same 1 mile distance. Scratch number 4, Run Smitty Run. Scratch the 4. And note that number 9 is 1 pound over. In the 8th race, no changes. The 9th race, the Johns Call Stakes, is off the turf and will now be run on the main track at the distance of 1.25 miles. Please note the distance change in race 9, off the turf, on the main track now at the distance of 1.25 miles. Today's 10th race is off the turf, goes on the main track at the same 1 mile distance. Number 1, Temperamental, rider change will be announced. The 1A, Mariah's Fortune, make the jockey Tyler Gaffleone. Tyler Gaffleone on the 1A, Mariah's Fortune. Number 2, Mia at Midnight, a rider will be announced. And we have these scratches. Scratch 3, Miss Delicious. 5, Stella Mars. Scratch the 7, Peg's AK Girl. 8, Control Function. Also scratch 10, Quarria Thunder. And the 11, Dreamful. Race 10, scratch 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 11. Once again, the first race, the steeplechase race, has been canceled. We're off the turf today. The main track is fast. We'll come back at around 12:30 to recap the changes. Again, we'll start the card today with race number 2 at 1:39. Up next, the Wednesday edition of Talking Horses with Serling and Stabile.
Good morning, everyone, as we begin week number 7, day number 30 here at Saratoga. Travers Week commences. Welcome to Talking Horses, presented by Saratoga Springwater. He is Anthony Stabile. I'm Andy Sterling. We celebrate Ukraine Day of Independence today. Race 4 will be named for that. And do want to give a shout out to the people who did such a great job, not only singing our anthem, but singing Ukrainian anthem as well. And I'll try to get the names right. And I apologize if I don't get them exactly right. Alessia Versal sang the anthem here, and Solomia Davan, I believe, sang the Ukrainian anthem. So we thank them so much for starting our day out on such a great note. Now, obviously, we're off the turf. The jump race been canceled. We got 1.5 inches of rain, most of it last night during the draw, as a matter of fact. It waited for the draw to dump on us yesterday. So we're off the turf. It's the first actual complete off the turf day of the entire meet, which is pretty incredible.
Not bad for day 30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. We doubled the number of races we lost in the turf today. I don't know if does a jump race count as a lost turf race?
I don't believe so.
If it doesn't, then we lost 5 today. That'll make 10 for the meet. So we've been fortunate. Apologize for that. But, you know, with a big week coming up as well, you always want to err on the side of caution. And that's sort of the way it goes. And we'll have a good time talking about the races.
The rails have
regardless.
come down on the
melon. Won't matter today, though,
right.
since we're not on them.
But I think that's part of the reason as well. And maybe if the rails
No,
were still up.
I don't think
no?
so.
You think that
Well,
was
I
it?
mean, that's a different question.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But Pete's here. Where'd Phyllis go? You got the
behind
family.
me.
What is she hiding over?
Sitting behind me.
Phyllis,
I mean, it's hard to,
Jesus.
you know, that's when you addressed Pete before. I was like, oh, why isn't he talking to Mom?
Because you're
couldn't
blocking
see her.
her.
Well, you couldn't see her. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Okay.
The reason I'm sitting here, you can all blame her. She taught me how to handicap.
She's actually a wonderful.
this.
She's a wonderful person. It's
She
very
is.
nice to see her. Shall we send people over to Naira Bets, Anthony?
Toga 200, Andy.
Keep Anthony employed 200.
Please.
Yep. Use the.
More
That's
important
a
now than
special
ever.
promo code. If you use that code, you may get special gifts. Anthony might come to your house, do the dishes,
Doing everything else. I
clean
might
the
as well.
bathroom.
Yep.
He's there for you.
Laundry.
Keep Anthony employed 200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets, support racing, and keep the money in the game. We have the $20 Wednesday bonus. It's Wednesday. Getting ahead of myself.
We both just opted into this.
Yeah, I'm opted in, so bet 200 or more, you get $20 back. Always a good promotion. It's definitely helped me this meet, and probably helped you. We've also got the contest. You have until Friday at 5 o'clock to sign up. Saturday, Travers Day, $300 buy-in. Be a lot of fun. Should be a good contest. Of course, Travers Day card will be drawn today, a 13-race card. We drew the Travers last night. We'll talk about that in a second. I think we can manage to get through the show today. We've only got about an hour and a half left until the first race, or more. Actually, we've got. Oh no, we have more.
$1.50.
Yeah, we've got an hour and 50
$1.39
for the
first
race.
post
So Andy and
today.
I are going to stay on about an hour and a half of it, if that's okay with you. We're not. I'm kidding. Sarah Live, 1 to 6:30. FS.
Maybe I'll do a couple of tunes today.
Yeah, let's not go there.
You don't wanna do
So the
that?
Travers draw.
Yeah.
Cyberknife drew the rail. He was installed as the 7-2 second choice. Post number 6 for Epicenter, 7-5 favorite. Post number 5, Artorias. And then the other 2 Chad Brown horses outside of them, Early Voting and Zandon. The second choice, Artorias, 9-2. Cyberknife, 7-5. Zandon, 5-1, fourth choice in this race. Rich Strike got post 2. Two sound right?
believe
2.
two.
Yep. Post 10-1 morning line. Long shots outside of him. Gilded Age and Ain't Life Grand.
It's a shame O'Donegal got hurt because you would imagine that all 3d Triple Crown race winners
Yeah.
would have been here.
Yeah,
Right.
when's the last time we had that? It's got to be since Aloma's Roar and Runaway
Yeah,
Groom
Always
and
Dreaming.
Cloud Computing
No.
and Taprit.
Did they all show up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Well,
it.
you wouldn't know. Well, they all came out of the
they all-
starting
they
gate.
all walked into the
Showing
gate,
up
yes.
was a very vague term
West
for what each
Coast?
of them did.
Is that West
yeah,
Coast?
Yeah, West Coast. I was watching them. We were playing them at the draw last night, and Bailey Gallison, who works for us, one of our members, our crack members of the television crew, and we were trying to. It took us a while. We didn't know what year, and she said to me, "Which Travers is I looking at?" And I finally figured out it was Grasshopper and Street Sense, because I recognized.
Oh, yeah.
I recognized Grasshopper with the green silks down the inside. It took a
Farish, right?
long time for Street Sense to get by him. I'd forgotten
did.
how long it took him to get by. And sightseeing was there was a Phipps horse
Sightseeing,
behind. There
should.
was a
Yep.
there was a Bob LaPenta horse behind. So I was trying to sort of put it all together. The rest of them were easy.
That was 07 Street Sense?
07 is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, been a while.
you're doing 436 blogs for Travers Day.
I would
You're really up
imagine.
on your game. You have tomorrow's picks up too, so I figured you're really getting ready.
Well, to get a head start on everything, yeah.
It's really impressive.
Kind of
I
put
was, I was proud.
put all the soldiers in their place and attack. Yeah, it's been it's had a couple of charity events this week. Went to
Very nice. Yeah, I couldn't go to
Senior
the
Center,
TRF
TRF last
because
night.
I had to go to the draw.
Yeah, somebody
I
was
felt
like,
bad.
why wasn't Andy at TRF? I was like, there was this Travers draw thing.
I know
that
I
he
was going to
kinda
come, and
had
Kim had wanted me
attend.
to come, Kim Weir, but then I realized it started from 5 to 9, and I was there. I had to be there at 5. So
We raised some. Somebody actually paid $700 to have dinner with me and Nove and have a handicapping seminar next year.
so he paid about $4,000. She paid like $4,000 for that, depending on how much she bets on that card.
Imagine that.
I
You
need-
get to sit
I-
here.
I
You
need-
get
I
to
need
sit here with
I
me
need
for
to speak
free.
to. I need to speak to that woman.
You get to sit here with me for free.
I know.
They pay you to sit here
It
with
really
me.
is. I know.
mean, could you imagine this?
It's really incredible.
The real-
Really,
the
I'm
pleasure's
actually
really all
embarrassed.
yours.
Really, when I see that money in my account, I feel
Well,
like
that's
I'm
why
stealing.
you're as charitable as you
Yeah,
are.
I
Because
feel like I'm stealing. It's really
you're stealing every day.
yeah, $700 to have dinner with you, but it's for the good of the horses. So
That's for the TRF, yes.
yes,
And then tomorrow night we have the
Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation,
Tomorrow
if you're
night
not familiar.
BCCA.
tomorrow night will be the BCCA in a new venue, the Preservation Hall, which is a
Yep.
terrific place.
I'm
Looking
coming for the
forward to
money again, like I came at the chaplaincy. So
that. Anthony's always coming for your money.
I'm always
in
coming for
one
your money,
way or
one way or
another.
another.
So
the
race
woman to my left knows that better than anybody on the planet.
race 1. I'm surprised she hasn't changed her name yet and gone into witness protection.
She's
to be
changed it
honest
3
with you.
times. She's changed it 20.
Miracles
last
never
one anyway.
cease. We've lost the jump race. We hope we bring it back. I was actually talking at the bar last night at Hamilton Ghost with the owner, Freddie Flinchier, concerned the rain we might lose these races, and of course we did. He had 2 in. He had 1 in the flat too, but actually that horse stayed in, unlike a horse that was a cinch in that race. But we'll get to that. We'll take a break after the 5th race. The first race that we have is these 2-year-old maiden New York breds. And I imagine Gambling Girl will probably be a heavy favorite. No reason that she shouldn't be a heavy favorite. And she's the horse to beat, despite the fact that, frankly, she's been a massive disappointment.
And
But she may have found the right field.
She's slow early, Andy, and that's just something you don't want to see out of any horse, let alone a 2-year-old. Now she gets an extra furlong again. She went from 5 to 6, now 6 to 7, and there was, a positional improvement. She had better board placing, but she didn't really run
But it's
much better at all.
It's an interesting point you bring up, because you often see 2-year-olds that don't show speed the first time, especially one that gets bet like that, have more speed the second time, especially for Todd Pletcher.
And she didn't.
And he's not putting blinkers on, which in a funny way to me is actually a positive. Because a blinker
Agreed.
move might be a desperation move
I
a little
agree.
bit at this point, and the fact that he's not is probably positive. And listen, I'm nothing against this horse. She's the horse to beat. But like you, I don't want to put her on top as an enormous favorite in this
Well,
race.
you kind of, I think the blinkers not going on is a great point. She's probably
that the first great
one of
point
the
of
week.
Travers
First one
week?
happy Travers week. Yeah.
Wow. I think it's the first one on the show. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah, I
brag,
made a lot of great
but
points the
I've
last
made
couple
some
of
great
days.
points
Yeah,
as
me
well.
too.
There've been a lot of great
Me
points.
too. I
And
think
I made
people
them.
would-
It's like the tree falling in the forest. If you make a great point and
It's like
nobody hears it,
and
is
it's
it really a
kinda
great
you and I.
point?
If the other one's not there, there's a really a great point.
Well, there are others.
But yeah, does their opinion
But
really
they're not
count?
there either.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, there's one opinion that counts actually on the great point issue, but it's another discussion.
I agree with you. The blinker's not going on. It also leads me to believe that maybe they realize she's just not that fast early, and distance will be her friend, and she got to come along. But man, I don't want to be 4 to 5 to have her come along.
Miracle is in that very tough stake race. I think it's the Seeking the Ante to start out the card on Friday.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be interesting to see how this horse runs, given Miracle is probably 3rd choice in that race. But, certainly
a
not
coach's
a
horse
big price, yeah. So you went to
I went to the firster. I went to one of the firsters near. You went to the other.
August Bloom is a character in.
I don't know.
I think I know what it is.
So is
but
the
I don't
half
wanna
the stakes winner
embarrass
Fabian
myself.
by Arrogate?
To who? To Fabian?
Fabian.
That's a selling point?
Fabian was a decent filly.
Let's not get carried away.
She was okay. There was nothing wrong with her.
She broke her maiden in a 4-horse photo,
Yeah,
right?
she
No,
was-
she lost that race. I bet her.
She lost that race.
Has
I
she
was
broken
also
her
a
maiden
decent-
yet? Oh,
She
good. A
was
little
a stakes
sprinkle.
winner.
from her. Fabian?
Fabian.
Fabian.
Fabian. Bob
I'm
Baffert.
thinking, oh, yeah, right. This horse the half to Fabian?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I didn't see it. Maybe. Is it possible I didn't look it up? You're probably right. This horse was bred by Off the Hook, and that's Joe Applebaum's group, right?
Yep. I don't know. A work tab on paper seems decent enough. They get Luis Saez. Barn does good things, especially in Saratoga the last couple of meets with Luis Saez. I just wanted a different face. I didn't really love anything else that had run before. I guess Maddie's Grace could get a piece
So
of
there's
this.
no story. This is just
This
okay.
is just a selection.
August Bloom is just flowers. It's not. I was wrong.
Okay.
Was I thinking of Augie March, maybe?
I don't know. They talk about Duran Duran talks about the August moon
Please,
and Wild
please
Boys.
don't mention Augie March and then go to Duran Duran. It's
I
extremely,
don't know what to tell you.
extremely upsetting.
I think
to
of
make
Wild
that
Boys. I think of the
segue.
'86 Mets World Series video.
So I'm not going to go to Maddie's Grace.
Right, me
I know
either.
that you believe that Rui Rodriguez is going to win several races this week. I'll believe when I see it. I went to the William Morey first-time starter on the rail. He has good numbers with first-time starters. We'll show the workout. Not particularly fast by this horse. And I thought it was interesting that we're 10 3/5. I have to Grantham, who was second in the Tampa Bay Derby and ran a lot of surfaces. Runs for my friend Kirk Wyckoff's Three Diamonds stables. They didn't really ride this horse very much, and I think that may have had a lot to do, obviously, with the time of the workout and the fact that they paid as much money. I also wondered if this horse galloped out. Well, sometimes they talk about the gallop outs and the workouts, because it's almost perplexing. Now, when they bought this horse, Grantham had already done some good things, so I thought that she was a bit interesting, and she obviously has some value as a broodmare with that pedigree, but I'm going to take the Bill Morey first-time starter down the inside, as he has success with firsters in dirt races.
Okay.
Race number 3 is off the turf, and it's a tough break. Tom Morley, not well timed for Tom Morley, who was super live today on the card, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
12, 4, 11, 13, guys. Sent the email.
It's not. You don't have to have the caveat in the email because obviously they didn't get it, and there's a lot of emails that aren't gotten by you. So there's a debate out there.
Sent it at like 10:45 when it was all
There's a
updated.
debate out there whether they got it because they're
All
a
right.
crack staff.
All right.
I don't know.
All right.
Just try to be as nice as I am. So as far as Built to Last,
Couldn't even hold that in.
he does have a good dirt race. He really does. And that Best Idea race was a good race. I feel like he's running against some better dirt horses in here. So I put him third. You have him second. But I'm not. Obviously, he was an enormous favorite on the turf.
Yeah, and going 5.5. If he can get loose in here.
Well,
I guess Tommy Gunn has some speed, but
I don't think he's going to get loose at Tommy Gun. Tommy Gun's faster than he is. So
I don't know
and
about that.
Well, I do. And Full Complement's not slow either. So we'll see. I mean, he's pretty quick, but he's got turf speed. Does he have such fast dirt speed? We'll see. He may get loose. I don't think he gets loose. He may be in front. We'll talk about the horse I picked on top first because it's the order I put the videos, and that's Kingstown. And I will not argue that Kingstown has ran against weaker horses, and he hasn't run quite as fast. But this race, the second race by Kingstown, is one of those races that's just so much better than it looks. He was involved in the pace pretty much the whole way, and the winner got the gold, just zaps him at the wire. And this is a good example of how unlucky Mark Hennig was at Belmont.
Yeah.
He ran a handful of horses to meet that easily should have won, and this was one of them, and he just got brutally unlucky. And it really felt like he was going to hold the horse off the whole way. See how game, those horses usually win those. And he did all the work, and he's not going to be favored, and he may not be quite good enough, but I think his last dirt race is a lot better than it looks. So for that reason, I put him on top because I thought he'd be a fair enough price.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, he can absolutely win this race. And if you think that you seem to think there's a little bit more of contention on the front end, I just think Built to Last is going to go. That's why I put him second. And going 5.5 was the same idea with Tommy Gunn. I just feel like maybe a little less distance.
We'll show you his
gonna help
last race at
is gonna help
Saratoga,
his cause.
finishing second.
Yeah, it's his first time in for the tag, first time blinkers. It was the fastest race he's run by 10 points.
He's way the horse to beat up.
He's
this
just
race.
way the horse to beat right now, and I wasn't going to try to get cute in here. I think him and Built to Last kind of have this run of the race on the front end. If they hit up, then maybe somebody can come running. But it was hard for me to see past those two.
I didn't look it up. Catching Cupid, who finished third, won. Must have won at Finger Lakes. Didn't win here,
I
did
don't
he?
remember winning here. No.
I don't remember him winning here. Maybe I missed something.
I
don't disagree.
You and I, both of us, probably aren't going to miss that. I would imagine this horse is out of town.
He ran well last time. I won't disagree. And his other races are solid. I have no argument with him. He's the right favorite, and here he's the worst to beat. And keep in mind, Built to Last is even money because assumed
Those
turf
prices, at the
race.
very least,
well,
will flip-flop.
the MTOs are the price David thinks
Right.
they are. I think David would have made Built to Last somewhere in the 7-2 range, 3-1. I don't know for sure,
Right.
but I imagine somewhere in that range is the second choice. I mean, full complement's not impossible for Jimmy Jerkins in here. He's running against better horses in his races. He hasn't run great, but he hasn't run terribly. I'll tell you something about him. He's quick. The right ride from Gomez, he could be on the engine here.
Maybe. I don't know if he's fast enough.
Well,
as
he
the
is on
other
pace
two.
figures, Anthony, which you should look at. On pace figures, he is clearly the fastest horse in this
Really?
race. Yep. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
David checked in, Aragona. We'll see what he thinks about the line. Catching Cupid did win. It was the Charlie Baker horse. He won the first race here a couple of weeks ago, a week or two ago. Yeah, now I remember. Okay. It was not a particularly strong field, to say the least. It may have been a maiden 20, as a matter of fact. I think we are done.
Yeah.
We done? Yeah.
With the race, we're done, yes.
Race number 4.
I don't think they'd be happy if we left now.
Race number 4.
Maybe some people
Cathedral
would.
Beach is just the horse to beat in this race, off the claim for our man Ed Baca. I've seen very little of Ed. We'll take a look at his last win.
Seen him a
for
couple of
George
times
Weaver.
in the
Saw him
morning.
once. We talked by the studio. He's a lovely man. Always happy to see Eddie. He does seem a little out of his element in Saratoga, doesn't he?
Yeah, well,
Just
the
doesn't seem-
Horseman's Room at Aqueduct isn't here. It's kind of a little lost.
I mean, he ran last time. We saw the horse finish 4th in here, come back and wire a field on Sunday's card, I want to say. The West Virginia, the horse from Mountaineer. And I have nothing against him whatsoever. I picked him second, but I'm picking against him and trying to beat him, but I'm not in any way against him.
You know, when you take his form apart, if you get rid of his wet track races and the mile race, I mean, this horse looks unbeatable today.
Well, the track is listed as fast.
It is.
You're going to really tell me there's no moisture in it?
It was good this morning because the workouts were reported on a good track this morning. We did not add any water to the track during the renovation break this morning.
Well, that would make sense.
It would make. But
We had a lot to it last night.
There have been warnings where it's rained, and we have. So, but 1.47 inches of rain is a little bit of a different beast. I would have to imagine there's some moisture in that racetrack, and I think.
Hey, Anthony didn't really run better as a wet track. He ran a dry track. He ran better because he was running against $16,000 clay
No,
horse.
but Andy, if
He
you
was
look
6
at
to
the-
5.
But look at his form.
No, I don't agree with you, Anthony.
You
I
don't
don't think
agree- you
he
don't
ran
agree with the
particularly
races?
better than he did in the wet fast day on May 7th. So
How
you
about,
got the
how
wrong
about
guy
February,
here.
the February 3rd and the
How
March
about the
20th
March 5th race on a dry track? How about the second worst figure he's ever?
That was going a mile without the blinkers, and the blinkers went right back on.
Anthony, at some point in your life, you're going to get away from this dry track, wet track stuff, and it's going to help you.
Andy,
Evaluate
he's got an
this
81
horse.
and a 77 on fast
I'm
tracks.
sorry, you and I do not agree with this stuff. I think you're absolutely wrong. I don't think you look at these races
Wow.
the same way as I do. And I think this race 3 back on a wet track is really just about as good as the race he ran last time. I understand the buyer point was 10 points lower, but he was running against a different field.
Yeah, we
last time he had
disagree
a
on
soft
we
trip last
disagree on
time.
this. I just don't want to. I don't want him as the favorite.
Okay,
He's going to be a
that's
big
fine.
favorite in here, right? I know this morning line is 2-1 to 8-1. I don't see this happening. I think this was going to be close to even money today. Because I don't think you can build a strong enough case for the rest of them.
I think he'll be under 2-1. I don't disagree. Whether it's even money, I don't know. What am I missing on Zen Master?
He's a little bit of like many of them in here. He's a fresh face. I don't know. I thought his race 3 back made him a player in here from just off the pace. I thought his race last time out was okay.
So do I.
He's going to need to improve. I mean, he's going to need to improve. But the other thing in here
Well,
is
race 3
there's
back,
not
race 3 back, as you say, makes him very much a
yeah,
player.
and there's not
At Delaware.
there's not a lot of speed in here, and I would imagine he's going to be forward with Trevor. I don't think there's a ton of pace in here.
Well, never early's going to go. I mean, you don't think Cole Spur's going to go?
I'm not saying they're not going to go, but do you think they're that
No,
fast?
no. But I
Yeah.
think any of the 1, 3. I'm sorry, the horse in the rail's got to go. Brondo, Little
Brondo.
Bluebird, rooting
Yeah.
for the guys, the Little Bluebird.
I would
Wish them
imagine from
good
the
luck.
rail, John Velasquez is riding that horse. I would
Lacey
imagine
Cadet
he's going to be
coming up.
forward. But I'm just saying, it doesn't look
John
like the pace
Velasquez is riding Brondo.
Yes. It doesn't look like to me the pace is going to be that fast, and I think this horse will be forward and in a good position.
Is Joel riding today?
You know, I thought he was. I think that's the only because I didn't get a rider change for 42.8,
Okay,
unless
good.
I'm missing something.
Glad to have him back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. Zen Master can win. I'm not.
That wasn't Rosario, that was Rosado.
I know. No, I know. It was
I made a
Rosado.
mistake.
No,
It's
I
John
know it was
Velasquez.
Rosado in there. No, I knew that.
I read too quickly. So Joel is riding today, yes.
It's just the out-of-town horses they sometimes seem to underperform to me. And that's my biggest concern
Well,
with
you
that
have a lot
horse.
of them
Not
in
the
here,
horse camp.
right? You
I
have
agree, which is why I
Bernardo.
went to Slippo.
Yeah, okay.
And listen,
Fair enough.
Filippo stunk the joint up last time. I picked him last time.
was
and
awful.
He was awful. It was considerably better horses, and it's a race where the race completely fell apart. He was off, he was towards the outside. The rail didn't seem like a great place to be that day. People stayed away from it. Race was dominated up front. He was second. He's coming off a little bit of a freshening, 2.5 months. He drops. I just feel like today is the day, if he's going to show up and be able to race, today is the right field. It bothers me that there's not a lot of pace in here.
Right. And my problem with him was neither of us have Never Early anywhere. And I know Never Early today he beat him soundly, had the run of the race on a pretty moderate pace on the front end. But, I mean, do you really want Never Early in here?
Well, no. Okay. Never Early won when Jeffrey Englehart's horses were on fire.
Yep. That's true,
The
too.
barn is considerably cooler for the last several months, especially at Naira. So I don't really care what
Okay.
Never Early did to him
Fair
at
enough.
that point. I mean, that's my thinking on that. And I think Filippo has shown to be better than horses in here at times. I don't love him, trust me. But
I also
he's
think
8-1 in the line. I have to use him.
I think
play
you're
him
getting your revenge for Lisa's booby trap. This is her full.
I bet a lot of money on the risk averse that day when she was 1-5 on the turf. It's really bet like
The
everything.
first
I own.
time out, nobody knew, right? You and Eric didn't.
Oh, that was. We've told this story before. Lisa's booby trap was in a 5-horse field in the dirt here. Donovan was making the morning line. I think he made her like 9-2. I didn't. I had her nowhere in my top 4 picks. She opened up at 1-5 or 2-5, and Eric Donovan and I were in the paddock looking at her. And Eric said to me, "So apparently we're the only 2 idiots that didn't know about this horse here. There's an article in the newspaper about the horse. Everybody talking about it. And she won by a pole.
Went off the
She's a
screen.
pretty good horse.
Yeah.
And then she ran back in the risk averse, the turf first time, and she opened up 1-5. She ended up going off at even money. I was doing the prattles of the paddock, and for whatever reason, I was alone that day, and I believe that I said
You were probably
there
in
should
timeout.
be a plane flying over the track, dropping dunce caps for everybody who's betting on this horse, and people got really mad at me. And then she ran last. I want to say that Tom Proctor won the race. Does that sound right?
Probably.
I think so. Anyway,
For
Lisa's booby trap.
who's that? Glenn.
Named for the booby trap.
Yep.
There you have it. Race number 5 as we move right along at a mile. Big scratch here with the 6 Kinetic Sky coming out. We'll take a look at Roderick, who I believe is your choice in here.
He is.
This is 3 races back at Churchill Downs. Found 1.25 miles too far for him. And Phil Bauer, he's lighting it up.
Yeah. Sources. Unless 42 Ace finds his speed, Roderick is gone on the front end. I don't want to get in this guy's way right now. These horses are running out of their minds. And he just looks like he's loose on a lead on a cutback. I don't know.
Well, I don't think the 40 Ace is far off him, but he is the speed.
Yeah. I just.
No, he's going to be a short price, and he's way the horse to beat. I don't have any argument with him at all. 1.25 miles probably too far. That race is good enough. We'll see. The Bauer horses, for the most part, have run exceptionally well. Now, the ones that have run well have been very logical as well. It's not like he's, and this horse is logical. Dropping in for 50. He claimed this horse for 50. I don't know if he gets claimed out of here, 4-year-old gelding. I know it's a claiming frenzy. As far as 42 Ace, we're going to show his race going back to February. I just want to show a race where he ran second. And I think you won't disagree with me if you look at the race in the sloppy track and you look at the race in the fast track. Those races are, for Charlie Baker, the first 2 are fast enough to win here. I don't think you'll argue with that, right? Okay.
He just fell
So-
apart.
Well, not really. He ran badly on March 19th. No argument there at a short price. Then he came back and gave him a prep on the turf. He actually didn't run badly, in my opinion, last time. He got involved in a pace that absolutely incinerated. The speed actually finished last, over 8 lengths behind him, believe it or not, and they just kind of eased him up when he was hopelessly beaten. The other thing I found interesting about him last time is he got bet. I
He
picked
did
him
get
second
bet.
to Price Discipline, thinking he's going to be a big price. I'll make an exact with him second. I mean, he got pounded in that race, down to 4-1.
And then when he broke alertly, you said to yourself, there's something.
And that pace. I mean, look at the pace, 47 1.5. The final time was 52-2. And that was a good figure. I think Price Discipline will be
88
second
or
choice or
something?
co-favorite in
Yeah.
the Albany. Got like an 88.
88, I think.
So that was a fast race, and he ran this kind of pace. And one of the reasons Price Discipline ran as well as he did is he was relatively close to the pace, and he still finished. Everybody else came completely from the clouds. So I feel like he deserves one more chance in this spot. I'm not. Reading Roderick isn't going to be easy. I'm not against Roderick, but I think he's valuable because listen. I don't mind Good Culture. You know, he's run some good figures, but I'm going to tell you something about Good Culture, and I don't think you'll disagree with this. I needed him for second last time. Him not getting second last time was outright embarrassing. I mean, Totalizer was dueling with Swiftshore, who was the heavy favorite. He came like a walk top of the stretch, right? Good Culture was coming, and I didn't even need to watch. It was like, I can't lose this exact guy.
Chandelier
could
job.
not even get by that horse. And listen, to be fair, the figure's fast enough to win, but that was a very unimpressive performance last time. And he's running figs, but I'm just wondering what he has left in the tank.
I agree. I put him second. I actually scratched into him for second when Kinetic Sky came out.
If Air Show, if Rudy was going better, you'd consider Air Show in here, wouldn't you? He's got races to give him a chance.
Yep. Corkman has an aluminum pad off. First time for Orlando Noda. Thought he was a
They're
little
lighting it up,
interesting
too.
in here.
Yeah, big meat.
I'm sorry?
Big meat for that barn as well.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from the barns that are not winning.
Okay.
I'm sorry, and you usually do it more than I do, but I think there's a noticeable barns that aren't doing well at this meet, and I don't think you'll disagree. Barns that in the past have done very, very well at times. So we'll see what happens.
Rudy and I were talking about ways to change our luck around this morning. Haven't figured everything out yet, though.
I'm not even going to get involved in that discussion. We'll take a break and be back with the late pick 5.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Welcome back to Talking Horses as we celebrate Ukraine Day of Independence today. Race number 4 is named in honor. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling, thanks to our friends at Saratoga Springwater. Nice to see that ad, and we appreciate their support. Race number 6. King Angelo wasn't originally in the scratches, and then he was scratched. Now,
Why would you scratch this
I
horse?
hope he's okay. I really do. But he was a cinch in this race. Cinch. He was going to be 7-5 in here. You know, he might have been, maybe they would have fallen for the Pletcher horse and made him favored. He could have probably supposed to be favored. He's a better dirt horse than turf horse. His dirt races are better than his turf races. He's run well in the turf. He's a better dirt horse. The first race was in the dead of winter. He ran a 22-3 first quarter at 7 furlongs after getting left and almost got the job done. And then he managed to duel in a fast pace with Water's Edge, who's won a number of stakes, right? Third horse came back to jog in there. He did all the dirty work. Got an 85 buyer. 108 time form rating. Last time he got loose. He needs to be loose on the turf. This is not the first time he's been scratched in off the turf race.
And then he comes back relatively
tracks are so
quickly on the
fast.
turf. I don't.
It makes no... Now, maybe... I hope he's okay, because I think he's a really neat horse. He was a much shorter price in this race off the turf than he was on the
1,000%.
turf. I mean, what's the purse here? $115,000.
Imagine this.
I mean, the others I get. The others I get. This is
He's the most perplexing scratch of the meet.
outright shocking that this horse came out. Outright shocking that he came out of this race.
Yeah. This is not a. I don't get it.
You scratching horses that are under 2-1 at $115,000. I wish I could do that.
Me too.
Now, your horse under oath. We're going to show his race at Keeneland, and he won in April. My problem with this horse, Anthony, and obviously he can win this race, and I scratched into him as my third choice, but he got out badly last time. And Todd immediately goes to the turf with him. I mean, he's got a little bit of turf pedigree, and listen, Spitesdowns can do anything. But it just feels like a sort of act of desperation by him before he goes into a claiming race. And this is a horse that looked sensational in his first 2 starts, but something went wrong last time.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, you can't disagree with it.
No, I don't. And I know going to the turf, the
the
blinkers
turf
go
sprint.
on. There's a lot of kitchen sink action here.
For a very, very sharp trainer.
Yep.
And he's going to be short in here now with the scratches.
Just felt like he ran too poorly to believe last time.
You can, yeah, I forgot to give you a 4th choice. Sorry, guys.
Well, did you? I didn't know King Angelo was out. You could put
Well,
the 9 there for me.
Yeah, I actually did. Oh, yeah, 9. Yeah, you can make a 9 as well for me. Thank you. Yeah, I get it, Anth. This horse wins. You know, I guess it depends on price. It depends what I was looking at in other races, but I'm inclined to want to lose if this horse wins because I don't trust him at all. But having
What would
said
you have
that,
done if I told you that King Angelo was going to scratch, but Risk Profile was staying in?
well,
after running on Saturday.
I assume Linda would leave Risk Profile in because she likes to win. And Risk Profile didn't run that badly. Got caught in a super, super fast race and a day when Speed did pretty well, and it just didn't feel like that horse had a really fair chance in there and didn't run that badly, beaten quite badly for third. And, I mean, I think he's the more reliable of the two, and I just prefer him. I mean, I don't know.
That's
He's a
fine.
dirt horse, and I like Linda to bring him back on 3 days. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
She comes
he
back
ran
on short rest. She rode Boldish. She rode Boldish and win last year.
Swiss ran back in 15 days and won. This horse ran back in 10 days and won on his card. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's the right dirt horse. I thought he ran fine on Saturday, and I thought he was super logical in this race. Overbore can win as well. I mean, he's obviously on the slow side. He was a better horse in the turf in here. But I'm not, you know, if like me, you're not enthused by the number 3 Under Oath, and listen, I get it. Under Oath runs his good dirt races. He'll smother this field.
Right.
What
But
are the
you can't
chances
really-
he does that?
Yeah, you're right.
He still might run well enough to win. As far as his time, not this time. Do you know this interesting story about Ain't Life Grand running in the Travers? So his trainer, Kelly Von Hemel, his last starter here was Miss Macy Sue, who won the Honorable Miss in 2008.
Wow. Okay.
Miss
Wow.
Macy Sue is the dam of Not This Time, who is the sire of Ain't Life Grand.
Wow. How
Isn't
about
that
that?
cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was information given to me by the legendary Ryan Martin Ira, actually. I don't want to
Wow.
take full credit. It was given to me by...
Well, he loves all of his. If you
He's-
did
he-
Midwest, any Midwestern.
Also a half two. Not This Time is a half two. One of the greatest horses to win a Grade 1 here and one of the greatest losing performances in a Grade 1 in the last 10 years, anywhere, not just Saratoga. but
win
here.
and lose.
He won a Grade 1 here, but he also lost a Grade 1. He ran 2 during the meet. The one he lost, he ran better than the one he won. How's that?
Liam's map.
Correct. That Liam's map and Not This Time are halves. Liam's map, Whitney is one of the up there in the pantheon of great
What did he
losing
win?
performances. Won the Woodward.
Oh yes.
He ran back in the Woodward. Yeah, the meet.
Hey, you flip me.
Javier
You
rode
flip
him.
me around.
Javier,
Right.
Mike rode it. Mike Smith rode him in the Whitney. That was the
Yes.
year that Javier won like every Saturday stake. Won the Alabama,
Oh,
the
he won like
Travers,
7
everything.
Grade 1s that year, right?
Yeah, he won like
He even won the hopeful
one
with
of
that bad
all-
Doug O'Neill horse came in. Remember?
Yeah, I think he won all but one of the. You know, there was a bad Doug O'Neill horse that ran 5th in the Hopeful back a number of years ago. Lost to Currency Swap. He's a
Yeah.
bum. I'll have another.
I'll have another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody remembered that he ran the Hopeful until he won the Derby. Yeah.
Yep. Remember that? Yeah, Javier won like 7 that year.
Yeah,
Catholic,
I think-
Catholic boy, right?
I think he won every. No, Keen Ice won the Travers that year.
That was 15.
That was Keen Ice in 15. Yes, sir.
He rode him.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Why did I think that was? Why did I think that was later?
I don't know, Anthony. I can't. I'm not really going to try to get inside that cranium of yours. Okay, we'll move on to
ahead.
race number 7, where Anthony kind of left the reservation.
You don't like Mad Magic today?
No, he can't win.
Why can't he win?
He stinks. Sorry, I'm sorry. That
It's a
was
hell of a
mean.
reason, Andy.
I can't win because he's
Dynamite dropping,
he's
Monty.
way too slow. We taught. Asal will be okay because he and I are friends. We ride the subway together. Anthony, he lost a 20,000 claimer. Did you? You didn't. I don't think you looked up the field he ran against.
He was
at
claimed
Churchill.
out of both races. Something going on with this horse. There's more to meet the eye with those. Claimed out of both races. Completely just
It
walked
wasn't
out of the
utterly
gate first time and came running for some pieces late.
Not really.
I don't know
But anyway,
about-
not
I don't know
really.
what happened in
He
the
didn't really
turf-
walk
I don't
out of the
know,
gate
the
for
turf
start.
race.
He didn't walk out of the gate for start. Let's start with that.
Well, I mean, not literally, just like he
don't
was
tell
just,
people he
was
walked
a
out of the gate.
million- It was
He
a
doesn't have
million
any
lengths
speed.
behind the
He's a-
field.
he's a plotter.
Yeah. And he came running a little bit, picked up some pieces, and then
need
the
a
turf
brain
race
scan.
was a ho-hum effort. I don't know.
You need a brain scan.
Back to the dirt. First time Charlie Baker. That guy knows how to claim a racehorse.
You win this race, they're going to crown you in the winner's circle.
Who do you want? Who are you gonna? What hill are you gonna die on with this bunch? I mean, seriously.
Not the Mad Magic Hill, Anth. Good luck to you.
The 8-5 morning line favorite
Good.
is a horse that was entered for turf first time.
Good luck to you. I don't love the Princess Spur. We both have him second. He comes out of a race that got a big number first time. It may be one of those off-the-turf numbers. Now, the winner was the logical horse, and the number wasn't particularly bad for him.
Second
And
time,
listen,
the first time starter for
Time
the
Form
second.
US has this number almost exactly in line with Beyer, maybe even a smidge higher. Nothing against him. I'm just not in love with this horse. He's more of a turf horse.
Yeah, but I was going to say, based on his first fig, you would think he would have given him another shot on the dirt. Meanwhile, he went right to the turf, and he was going right back to the turf again today until it came off.
I think that Proven Hope is a legitimate dirt horse. He could have won this race in the turf, but he's legit on the dirt. His first couple races were A-OK, sloppy and straight. He had no chance that day at Aqueduct. That was a big inside track, a big inside speed track, and he was wide. And last time out, he just got lost in that race early. He's better than that. And that was also a killer race. Accretive is probably like the third choice or fourth choice at worst in the Alan Jerkins this weekend. I mean, this horse is in for a tag first time in the dirt. He makes a ton of sense. I mean, even Secret Cargo, I don't particularly like him, but don't you want to give him another chance? He ran a killer field first time.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think this is a much harder, tougher field than you do. Frankly, I don't even think Gut Feeling ran that badly. Gut Feeling is rates to beat your horse. They could bet. What are we at, 111 lunches?
Is that what it
I'll
was?
take the 6 over the 2 for a lunch.
Okay.
Okay, 111, 6 over 2, my fourth choice. Okay. Do that for you, Jordan. I don't know.
Oh,
I
Man
wish
Magic comes down the center of the track and pays $14.80 today.
Anthony, if he's 6-1 and you bet him, I'm going to tell Phyllis to take you out of here in a net, okay? Because he should be
Phyllis is
16 to
looking
1
to
in this
take me out of
race.
here in a net to begin with.
Did you bring the big net, Pete? You bring the big net for the big A? The big net for the big A. Race number 8. You didn't really think I wasn't going to make fun of you for picking this horse.
I can't wait till this
I
horse
hope I'm
wins
wrong.
today.
Sal's a great guy, and Charlie as
Fellow
well,
Mets fan.
and I'd be happy for you, but not for me.
I may ask permission to take a picture with that horse today if he wins.
Okay, yeah, you know what? You've got my permission. I don't see any reason. You should be in there. I should be in there with a
Maybe I'll
dunce
just
cap.
stand in the back
I
like
should be in
this.
there with a dunce cap, and you should. Well, that's the only time I've been in the winner's circle at Naira in the last that I worked here. When I went in with that Donegal horse, and I said it was a dunce cap
That was
horse, and I
great
went in
that
the Christoph one. The funniest thing about
She
the horse
went
was
Fahan Murrah. She went out to California. She was a stakes horse.
yes,
She won like 7 in a row.
that's because she went to a good trainer.
Right.
But that was the horse before the race. I didn't like the horse. He was a short price. And Christoph said it before the race. I'm not sure you're wrong. So I was, but anyway.
Fahan Murrah.
Race number 8. Well, race number 8. So at least last chance at glory for Tom Mora. He didn't lose all of his favorites entered today. I kind of copped out with this horse. It is weird. Claim for 40, drops and wins. Claims for 32, drops to win. The purses make it all make sense. It's not if they're playing the claiming game. You wonder a little bit if there's a bit of a hole, and maybe last time was the time, but he ran very well last time, and I'm not trying to beat him, but I will use a little boldish in here as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's
I just didn't want him
favorite.
to. He's going to be a short
fine.
price.
Fine.
So I went back to my boy Little Commission. I got the money with him last time. Trying to get the money with him again today.
Got to run a lot better than he ran last time, isn't he?
Yeah, he will.
No,
I'm
you
hoping he
picked
will.
him because Phil Antonucci
I
trades
will.
him. That's why you picked him.
Phil
Let's
Phil
get.
Antonacci's done a good
That's
job.
why you picked him.
Well, listen, I
I'm
bet
not
the
saying
horse
he hasn't,
last
but
time.
he's your buddy.
I bet the horse last time.
It's like solidarity with Phil.
I would imagine
A lot of Phils in your life.
there are.
A lot of Phils. Don't worry, Pete. There's a Pete too. Okay, don't. Pete's looking over me like a hurt puppy.
He
over
needs
there.
it. Affirmation. This horse was just running again so much better. Dropped down where he belonged
But
last
Anthony's
time.
got to run better than he ran last
I know
time.
he does. I know he does.
He's going
I'm
for Rob
hoping with the
Actress,
race-
who was
I'm
on a
hoping-
rush when that horse was
Yeah, I'm
running.
hoping with the race under his belt he does. Off
Okay.
a little break.
Okay. I'm always happy to see Sandy Goldfarb do well. I thought Boldish was dangerous. Coming off a freshening year for Linda. Ran well here. He's the horse that came back in 11 days here last year and won.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he was dangerous when he runs his good races, so I'm going to use a little Boldish in here as well. I went 63.
Okay.
They're my main two.
Wasn't really much to say in
So
that.
race number 9, the John's Call, on the dirt, and they're all staying in. It's a 1.25 miles on the fast main track. And in reality, Tie of the Sea is an hour and a half the horse to beat. What price do you think he'll be in here?
3 to 5.
At least, at the most.
Yeah, he could be true. He could be
So
two.
Tom still has 2 of his horses.
He could be 2 to 5.
He's a shorter price in the dirt than he is in the turf. But if you're Tom
Much.
Morley, you still oddly wish the race was on the turf.
I
You
don't-
trust him? Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know if Tom Morley's too
No.
upset that this race came
No,
off the
no,
turf
I don't
today.
think so either. But no, I don't think so either. I agree with you. But yeah, he's a shorter price. But oddly, he's supposed to be in the turf too, but not as conclusively. And he ran fine last time. I want to see it again.
Yeah, I would.
No, I'm not against him.
It's just hard.
Him, I
to-
would certainly use in any multi. I just didn't want to pick him on top in here.
I mean, there are 2 of the other horses in this race. The horse you put on top, I guess you're going to tell us why. But him and
No, I'm not. I'm going to be like you and not tell you.
him
why.
and Hieroglyphics. I mean, their dirt form is abysmal.
Well, it's actually not, but that's okay.
And then you have a jumper. I mean, yeah, you have a jumper.
Jumper was your selection in this race of the turf, so this was
It
a good.
was,
This
right,
was a
but-
good off the turf for you. Should have
Yeah,
looked
but-
at that field. This horse ran in the flat race 3
You
back.
have a jumper. I guess Bluegrass Parkway, and you have a
Well,
wild
Bluegrass
card
Parkway's
with
one dirt
Girl
race isn't terrible.
No, it's not.
But it was a 4-horse field that he got a 69 buyer in. It does feel like he's
63
gonna,
buyer.
Excuse me. Yes, excuse me. He does feel like he'll be forward though.
Yeah, this
Now
race,
he's not
well,
as fast as the
he'll be
blazing speed of Tide of the Sea, the
lines
bullet
up,
that he is,
It lines up 3-2, right?
or 2-3. Yeah. What am I missing about Girl Dad? Well, there actually is some dirt pedigree there.
And he kind of runs like a horse that's just going to want more ground.
He does.
I thought he did. I thought he did. Thought he moved way too soon 2 starts back. To me, he runs like a horse that if they let him settle and make one run, he's one of those horses that I think is going to eat up some ground.
Okay. As
There's
far
a
as Ocean's Map, and I'm not going to argue if somebody says to me, you may be reaching a little bit, but I'm not sure. This horse's debut, and I'll wait until the factor leaves. This horse's debut was at 5.5 furlongs in the dirt. He ran a 45 buyer and finished 4th, beaten a couple of lengths. And he came back with two or three subsequent races on the turf where he ran like 50 buyers and 60 buyers, which in a lot of ways are easily comparable to the 45 he ran.
Sure.
This is a horse that did not improve at all on the grass right after he ran his first race in his career. His next dirt race, he trailed by 20 the whole way around. Something went wrong. He was never, it's not like he was close to the pace and he stopped. He was way back the entire way. Something went wrong. So while I'm not going to mortgage the house to suggest that he's a dirt horse, it's not clear that he didn't just improve on the turf. And I wonder if that's one of the things Greg Sacco is thinking about leaving here.
Just
and
a
who is
better
he
horse
afraid of
now?
anyway? And
No, there's nothing to be afraid of in
yeah,
here.
and so instead of taking 3 to 5 on ties, and by the way, he should be 3 to 5. I'm not.
Should be 3 to 5.
I'm not. Maybe he should be
Well,
2 to
that
5.
last race, he should
yeah,
be 3 to
maybe
5.
he should be. And I'm not. This is not a. He's going to be overbet. I just don't want to take him at that short price.
Fair enough.
It's not. And I just thought the 4 Ocean Map, I could make at least a little bit of a case for him at a much better price. So race number 10, we really did a great job getting to this card, in slightly under an hour.
We had some fun. Told some stories.
I had a great time.
You didn't let me do any of my numbers, but it's okay.
Thank God. So,
Let's send it-
we agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe later. Maybe later today.
yeah.
Just
maybe
running
later
against
today.
better horses.
Yeah, I have nothing else really to.
I don't trust her. She seems to have some issues changing leads watching her run, but she has run against better horses. But, you look at the Chase and Bryn Carrick race. We'll take a look at that from June 2nd, the last race for Chase and Bryn. A little farther back. No, last time for Carrick as well, running second. And this was after the Noda big rush, when they won like 6 races in the first week of the meet, and then maybe won the rest of the meet. I don't think these horses are impossible. I don't think Mariah's Fortune is impossible. Mariah's Fortune, off the claim for Rudy, if Rudy wasn't going so bad, I'd probably have had her higher. But I don't know.
Probably
Claim
would
from
have picked
Brad
her if
Cox.
Rudy wasn't going so bad. I'd put a second. I don't want Chase and Bryn and Carrick.
Really? Why?
Nah, no, I don't like that race.
What's wrong with Chase and Bryn?
I don't like that race.
Horse has got good. I don't know. This horse's form is good for Matt Cantamasi.
Yeah, can't
Let me get that. Matt.
I don't want to.
What?
I don't want those.
I don't like it. Why?
I don't want those races. I don't want the horses out of that race. I just don't like those horses. They would keep company with Chase and
Chase
Bryn.
and Bryn is nothing but run logical races.
Yeah.
wrong.
I'd rather.
You don't have Chase and Bryn in your top 4.
No, I wanted to go a little goofy in here. I don't like them. I should have put So Lib higher. That's what I really should have done. Should have put Soul Lib higher.
Okay, can I bet you the 13 beats the 9 for lunch?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were
Sure.
111 coming in for the day. It's
One
gonna
of
be
those.
higher.
I thought Mariah's
So I have-
Fortune, and I
I
thought
have
Soul Lib would be
13
forward
over 9, one lunch.
in a race that doesn't have a lot of speed. And I thought maybe Lady would be right off of them.
Lady of Thornton. You rock, my friend.
Yeah.
Those big 40 buyers in the dirt races. Can I bet you the 13 beats the 4?
No, you can bet me. This is what I'll do with that. I'll bet you both the 12 and 13 don't beat the 4.
I don't want it to get involved with the 12. Oh, okay. I can have 13 over 4 for 1 and 12 over 4
No,
for
no,
1.
no, no. Both of them have to beat her.
No.
Why not? I'm
Because you
taking
got the
horse
horse
that's
third. You
gonna
have
be
the
30 to
12
1.
and 13
I'm
anywhere.
not
You should have to
the horse
pay to
30
do
I'm
that.
the horse gonna be
silliness.
30 to 1.
So horse isn't going to be 30 to 1.
Who's going to be 20 to 1?
No. Horse is coming
I
up
think
for
they
70
both-
buyer
I
on the
think they
turf.
both have to
Horse
beat
is coming up for 70 buyer. Okay. Well, you have them not in the top 4, and now you're like
You don't have my
pretending
horse in
that
the
you're
top
like
4.
because they don't have any chance. Because she has no chance.
Then there shouldn't be a problem.
Anthony, you can convolute it any way you want, but you know you're wrong.
You're 9 to 2 and 3 to 1, buddy.
Okay.
They're the second and third choices. I got the second longest shot on the
You
board.
don't have them in the board.
I know.
I'm going based on your
I
opinion that
don't
you're
like
telling the
them.
public that you like the 4 considerably more than you like the 13 and 12.
I do.
Yet you're not willing to bet unless I put both of them on top
Well,
of your horse.
I'm not going to give you that much of an edge. One was going to be 20 to 1. The other two are going to be the second and third
He's
choices.
not going to be 20 to 1, Anthony,
What do you
off
think
a
he's gonna
7
be?
to 1, 70 buyer last time in the turf. People misbet these races. That's why we like off the turf races, because people will make the mistake of betting Lady of Thornton a little bit in here.
I can't do it.
Okay, so you don't really like Lady of Thornton
I
over
do.
12 and 13. You just pretended to on the air.
I didn't say I do like
Pete
it.
knows I'm right.
not giving you that much
Pete
of an
knows
edge.
I'm right.
I'm not giving
Pete,
you
I'm
that much
glad
of an
you're
edge,
here
buddy.
for this. I really am.
You can't have that much
Phyllis,
of an edge.
I'm sorry. You know,
Can't
you
have
did
that
all you
much-
could.
you can't
There was
have that
only
much
so
of an
much you
edge.
could do.
Can't give you that much of an edge, pal. Sorry. Think they both can beat her, then fire away. But if not, no bet.
Head on over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code Don't Bet on
For our next trick,
Solib in the last race.
for our next trick,
200. Toga 200 will match with $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Support racing in New York and keep the money in the game. We have the $20 prize match. Anthony and I have both opted in.
In.
You must opt in.
I'm in.
Bet 200 or more at Saratoga. You'll get $20 back no matter how you do, win, lose, or draw. We have the contest Saturday, Travers Day. $300 buy-in, cash and seat prizes. Head on over to naira.com/contests.
got till 5 o'clock Friday.
There you go. And 1 to 6:30 today on FS2,
The deuce.
the Deuce. All right, I'm going to try to get some lunch.
I think you have a little time.
No, I don't. I'm on at 1.
Oh, right.
There you have it.
Okay.
But we're done. You have a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day here in
It is.
Saratoga.
It really is. Come on
Off
out.
the turf, but listen, we've been lucky so far. We just weren't lucky yesterday. Have a great day. Enjoy the day at Saratoga. John and Brielle up next. Reprise, scratches and changes.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Hello, racing fans, and once again, welcome to Saratoga. A mix of sun and clouds right now. The temperature will be in the 80s. Please note today's first race, the steeplechase race, has been canceled. We had a lot of rain overnight and this morning, and we are off the turf today. Main track is labeled as fast.